Welcome back in the demo, XSS via HTTP response splitting. What you can see on my screen is my testing web application, and now I'm going to register for a training. So I'm going to click the register button and I'm going to play with the outgoing request. What I've got here in my testing environment is a proxy, and I'm sending the traffic from my browser through the proxy because I want to be able to see the traffic going out from my browser. I want to be able to play with this traffic, to change this traffic and stuff like that. And what kind of proxy do I have here? I've got the Burp Suite proxy. So Burp Suite proxy is a part of Burp Suite. And Burp Suite is an integrated platform for web application security testing. And this is very nice proxy that I can just easily use to play with the traffic going out from my browser. So I've got Burp Suite proxy. It was just an introduction to my testing environment. And on default, the interceptor is off. I'm gonna turn the interceptor on and I'm gonna register for this training. The reason why I'm gonna turn the interceptor on is that I want to intercept the request going out from my browser. That's why I decided to turn it on. Okay, let me now click register and let me go to my proxy. You see here is my request that has been intercepted by proxy. And now I'm going to click write and I'm going to send this request to the so-called repeater, which is very nice because in a repeater, I can just send the request and I can see the response on one screen, right? So I just took my request and send it to a repeater, and in repeater you can see on the left side of my screen there is a request, and on the right side there is a response, which is very nice because on one screen I see immediately request and response. And I needed to play with an XSS attack because, you know, in XSS attack you want to see if the payload from the request is reflected back in response without any modifications. So the best or the easiest way to see it is to have a request and response on one screen, right? That's why I sent the request to repeater. Okay, what you can see in the request, there is a parameter language with a value en_en. And in the response, you can see that there is a set cookie header with a cookie language and the value en_en. Well, it looks like the parameter language with value en_en is reflected back in response, right? So let me check this out. So I've got a language parameter here with a value en_en. I will put something like, I don't know, YYY. At the very end, I will click go. And yes, indeed, we've got set cookie header in response. Again, the cookie named language with a value this time en_en YYY. So indeed, the language and the value of language from request is reflected back in response. And what is very important here, it is reflected back in response in the HTTP response header. Here we've got headers, right? Headers, an empty line, and the body of the message, the so-called HTTP response body. If you've got your reflection here and potentially you've got a script here, it will not be executed because this is the HTTP response header section, right? And the body section is here, so you have to escape from the header to the body in case of XSS attack. But step by step, you have to see if an XSS attack is possible here or not. So what I'm gonna put right now instead of YYY is, for example, I'll put something like this. So I'll put script, now alert, XSS, so the classical XSS payload, close script, and I will click go. And now what you can see in the response is that indeed my script has been reflected back in response without any modifications. So you can think that, well, it will be executed and, well, at the end of the game. It's not so easy. As you remember from the previous technical overview, from the previous video, you must escape from the header section to the body section to make your XSS payload work. And now I'm gonna show you how it works in practice. So this escaping is really crucial. So what you have to put here at the very beginning is this carriage return new line, carriage return new line. So let me do it step by step. I will put %0D, %0A, so URL encoded, carriage return and new line, and then my script. I need to put this sequence, carriage return new line, URL encoded, twice. But let me do it now for the first time, and let me show you how the response changes, okay? I will click go. Can you see that? This part, carriage return and new line, is responsible for moving my script to the next line. And when I do it again, so once again, carriage return and new line, so %0D, %0A, and I will click go. Now I see something amazing and beautiful. Now I was able to escape with my script from the HTTP response header to HTTP response body. Let's take a look here. Now this is my header section, empty line, and this is body right now. Now my script alert XSS close script is in the body and it will be executed. And what is funny here is that now, due to this escaping, the content type, which is normally a header, the content type ended up in the body of the message, which is really funny, right? Okay, so let me now take this payload. So now you see that it really should work. It is really consistent with my explanation, but now I need to prove that indeed it works. So let me copy the value of language parameter here. Let me copy it. And now let me go to my web application, right? Here is my request, language $en_en. This is my, let's say, the default value of language. And you see, you have been registered to the training year 2024, month 12, date 06. Okay, but I want my XSS here. So now I paste here my payload, right? My payload with this special sequence of characters, carriage return, new line, carriage return, new line. And now let me show you that indeed it works. And what you have to do to attack a victim is just send this link to the victim. Let me now hit enter. And voila, you see that our XSS attack is working. And as I told you, this is really funny, as a result of this escaping from the header section to the body section, the content type ended up in the body of the message. That's why you can see it on the screen. Okay, guys, this is it. Now you know this trick, how to escape from the header to the body and make your XSS attack work. And yeah, we are done with this demo. I hope it is clear, because it's not very straightforward when you see something like this for the first time. As you can see, this is very, very much different than a classical XSS attack. But I hope you like it, and I keep my fingers crossed, because when you find something like this, you can get a couple of $1,000s. So let me keep my fingers crossed, and at the same time, let me go to the next bug, because I've got more award-winning XSS attacks for you in this course. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you in the next video.